Driving test leaving from Birmingham Garretts Green. This one went out at about 10 to 2. Now, in my opinion, this is either the hardest or the second hardest driving test route in Birmingham Garretts Green. I want you guys to let me know whether you think the same. It's not one that shows up very often, and when it does show up, I do find that people get, on average, higher faults on this test route than compared to some of the others. So let me know in the comments what you think. As always, all the driving faults will be pointed out as they happen. If you do find it useful, please drop any comment below just so it helps boost the algorithm and reach more learners. And if you do want it on a bigger screen, YouTube will have it on full screen. So on TikTok, it'll look amazing on your phone. On YouTube, it'll look amazing on a bigger screen if that's how you watch it. The test centre road is particularly packed today. I normally say it's good practice to go down a test centre road a couple of times on test day, near the time of your test, so you can prepare for things like all these massive trucks on the left hand side. There's not normally that many, so it is quite a busy day. I noticed the car lurches forward a little bit. They were in second gear, which caused it to stall. I do think that stall threw them off a little bit, so at the moment they're currently trying to find a gap to move out. You'll notice the car lurches forward and then that BMW comes around. The BMW was quite far away when my learner went to emerge, but because of the very fast speed they were driving, it wouldn't be safe to have moved out. So that lurch was the examiner taking control. So when you are looking to emerge, look at where the car is positioned and the speed that they're travelling. What I was told in the debrief is where the car was, it was far enough away, but because of the very fast speed it was driving, it made it unsafe. You'll notice with their positioning, they're pointing more to the inside of the roundabout. They're actually meant to be turning left here. It would have been better to have more of a positioning to the left. I did pick up a fault for this one because the positioning was really quite off. It was more of a positioning for a right turn. You'll notice there was quite a long pause here. I think they were just recovering themselves after the examiner took control. I'll be honest, this is a really nice thing the examiner did, as after they take control, you could be very demotivated. Some people wouldn't even want to continue, but it's important that you do, so you see how you would react if you complete a full test. So there's a lot of independent driving in this part. They're not going to be saying much, they'd be expecting you to follow the road signs. Notice how far away the car is to the right that enters the roundabout. They could have kept the car crawling and entered behind it. Sometimes it's easier to do a controlled roll. Coming to a complete stop each time, it can be quite difficult. So if it's safe to do so, think about a controlled roll instead of coming to a complete stop every single time. So this is one of the pullovers here. This one will be a hill start as it is at a slight incline. At the end of this road, they're turning left. It is quite a busy road here. It's good to look for blockers. What I mean by that is you normally get traffic turning to the right, like this white van here. Look at how they managed to go and the car behind them. That would have been a perfect opportunity, but because they stopped so far back, it wasn't possible. It picked up one minor here for planning and awareness. There's some very complicated roundabouts coming up. For the first roundabout, they're going straight ahead. I'd recommend that you always follow the outside of the roundabout for this one. And again, at the next roundabout, they're turning right. I would recommend the outside again to turn right. Yes, this is allowed. Examiner would now advise you to move over into the right hand lane, as at the roundabout, you're going to be turning right. It said their positioning slightly swerves into the middle. There's no one around, so it's not a dangerous fault. After turning right at this roundabout, you need to come off in the middle lane, as the far right lane takes you to a right hand turn. What this bus is doing, not ideal. Why did he pull out like that? I have no idea. They're currently proceeding in the correct lane. Now, this junction is a gnarly one.
Bruh.
They've got a really good stopping position at the moment. When these lights do change, you need to be very quick to clear it. You'll notice how some cars ran the red light. That's not really their fault. They cleared it as quickly as they could. Again, yet another small but very busy roundabout coming up, and it leads you onto some very tight roads. So, with that right turn, all these roundabouts they've been having, this is why I think this is one of the toughest routes. The whole thing here is about weaving in and out of gaps. And here we have the angled start. Now, down this stretch, there's not really too much to say. They've done all of the hard parts, so it's pretty easy sailing from here. You'll notice those stopped quite a bit before the giveaway line. Not really a fault here, but in some roundabouts, it can make it quite difficult for you if you position too far back. The closer you are to the line without going over it, the better view you'll have of the road ahead. Now, this is what everyone wants. Pull up on the right and reverse 2 cars' lengths. Notice how they stopped for the car that was passing them. That's the safest thing to do and what is recommended. If any cars are going to pass you, you must wait for them. So down this stretch here again is absolutely packed. Massive trucks to the right, loads of cars to the left. As you can see, there's a lot going on. He's just sandwiched between all of these vehicles at the moment. So not the result we wanted, one dangerous fault, and altogether there was 10 driving faults. A lot of them happened inside the car, so I couldn't point them out to you. That's things like missed mirror checks. You'll notice they finish a bit crooked. That's absolutely fine as they've been marked on their maneuver already.